If you have pain around here on your shoulder that maybe spreads down the arm a bit, then this video is for you. We are going to discuss shoulder bursitis and show you 3 simple exercises which can really help. Hi, it's Brody and Mitch from Be Mobile Physio, the experts in fitness for over 55s. To start with, what is bursitis? Well, a bursa is a small fluid-filled sac. We have more than 150 of them all around our body, and they provide a low-friction surface which allows our tendons to slide and glide easily as we move.
These bursa can become inflamed, painful, and swollen, and that's what's called bursitis. We actually have a bursa in our shoulder called the subacromial bursa, and it often gets blamed for shoulder pain.
Now that you know what shoulder bursitis is, let's get into the first exercise which can help. The first exercise is slow punches. This is a very basic beginner exercise for when the shoulder's really sore. It's okay if you have a little bit of pain with this exercise as long as it's tolerable. Now this is just about getting the shoulder moving because motion is a lotion. So, holding your fists, you're just going to slowly punch forward and bring the arm back. Nice and simple. Punching forward, bring it back. This exercise can be made easier by punching lower. So if the shoulder's really sore, you might be starting here. And then as you want to progress it a little bit, you can start to punch higher, which is making the exercise a little bit harder. So you might do 10 forward punches, and then we're going to try the same thing out to the side. So fists here, punching out to the side, and bring it back. Once again, lower is going to be a little bit easier. Punching up higher is going to be a little bit harder. So 3 sets of 10 punching forward, punching out to the side, nice and slow. Now this is just a beginner exercise, so if that's much too easy for you, then stick around for the second and third exercise where we're going to start to challenge the shoulder a little bit more. You may have been diagnosed with shoulder bursitis, but the truth is this isn't actually a very helpful label. The reason is because there are so many structures in and around that area of the shoulder which can be the source of the pain, and it's very difficult to distinguish which of these is actually to blame. It could be inflammation of the bursa, it could be a rotator cuff tendon problem, sometimes it's both, and actually sometimes it's neither.
Hence, physios like us are moving to a broader term like subacromial shoulder pain, which encompasses all of those possibilities. Now, it might sound like we're being a little bit vague, but the truth is the specifics don't really matter.
Whichever of these is causing your shoulder pain, these exercises are going to be helpful. Speaking of which, let's get into the second exercise.
Okay, for this exercise, we're going to show you the front and lateral raise. Now, we do have some weights, but we'll get to those in a tick. We're going to start really simply, like the slow punch with no weight to start. So you're going to start with your arms on your legs, just raising it forward like so. Now, as you feel more confident, you can start to raise the arms higher, like so. All the way up to the top as your symptoms allow. Okay, good. If you're feeling comfortable with that, the next option is to grab some weights. Now, because we're in our studio, I do have some dumbbells, but if you're at home and you don't have any weights, you can just use some tin food, anything that you can hold on to easily with your hand. Okay, so once again, you're starting raising up to the height that feels comfortable for you. As you feel good, you can go higher. Nice and controlled. The important thing with this is there's no special technique. Just do what feels tolerable and comfortable for you. Okay, so that's the front raise. Next up is the lateral raise. So I'm just going to go straight into the version with the weights, but once again, you can do it without weights to start. Okay, with the lateral raise, you're just taking it out to the side. Again, you're just going to the height that feels comfortable, but over time, you can go up higher like so. And eventually all the way up to the top, like that. Now, if I turn slightly side on, you can choose what feels comfortable for you. It doesn't have to be directly side on. It can be at a bit of an angle. And often, sometimes, it's just a matter of you finding that angle that feels right for you. Once again, there's no right or wrong. Just find that angle that suits you and that allows you to do this exercise comfortably. Okay, great. So that's your front and lateral raise. You're going to do 3 sets of 10 repetitions to the front, 3 sets of 10 repetitions to the side.
Interestingly, MRI research actually shows that bursitis is equal in the non-painful and painful side. Around 50% of adults will have bursitis on a scan, whether or not they have pain. And other research has shown that how inflamed a bursa is not actually a reliable indicator of people's pain levels or their clinical outcomes. This is more reason why we don't often use that bursitis label much anymore and just are moving to broader terms like shoulder pain.
This is why we want you to use your symptoms as a guide rather than worrying about what specific structure is affected. So do these exercises at a tolerable level and know that you won't be causing more harm by exercising and using the shoulder. In fact, you'll be building strength and confidence.
On that note, let's get into the third and final exercise. Our third exercise is the push-up, which is a great way for building overall strength and confidence in your shoulder. I'm going to show you 3 versions, starting with the easiest, which is a wall push-up. Stand in front of a wall, hands about shoulder level, and simply lower your chest towards the wall and push away. Just like that. Now your head can get in the way a little bit, but that's okay because we're just starting to get some confidence with that pushing motion. If that's easy and doable, then we'll move on to the second type of push-up. Trying the push-ups on a piece of furniture is going to be a little bit more challenging than the wall push-up. Something like a dining table or a kitchen bench can work well. Placing your hands on that bit of furniture, walk your feet back, and then we'll go into the push-up. Lowering your chest towards the piece of furniture, pushing up and away. You can see my body is staying in a nice straight line as I do that. Down and up. You might have a little bit of pain with the shoulder, and that's okay as long as it's tolerable for you. How deep you go into the push-up will also affect how difficult it is. So you can start just going a little bit of the way down and eventually progressing all the way until you can touch your chest to that piece of furniture. And to help with shoulder symptoms, you can play around with the hand width. Your hands might be closer together or a bit wider, whichever works for you. Once you've mastered that, we can try the third version of the push-up. The third version of the push-up you can try is a kneeling push-up on the floor. Obviously, this is going to, again, be a little bit harder than that second one. So get something nice and soft for your knees, walking till your hands are out, and then we go into the push-up here. Dipping down, pushing it back up. The idea is to get your chest towards the floor. As with the others, how deep you go will affect the difficulty. So starting level, just coming down a little bit and progressing till you can get all the way down. Once again, like with the other push-up, you can try narrower or wider hands, whatever works for you. And one tip for this one is don't leave your bottom sticking up in the air, which we sometimes see people do. That's cheating a little bit. You want to make sure you get your whole body to come down and then all the way up. So pick whichever version of the push-ups you can tolerate for now and do 3 sets of 10.
So try out those exercises for your shoulder pain. And if you want more content like this to help you get fit and strong, then make sure you subscribe to our channel.